Hi everyone, welcome back to Baka Bitches. We are two 30-something-year-olds who love to drink and talk about anime. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Hannah to quickly go through our anime disclaimers.
Yes, because you'll need them just in case you don't want sensitive ears listening. But yeah, this is fair warning, a podcast that we're going to be talking about there's going to be language, there's going to be cursing because we're drinking, there's going to be drinks. So
What the fuck are you talking about?
I know.
What kind of fucking language is
rude.
happening in
this
here?
This is bullshit.
It's a family show.
So sorry.
Please don't watch this with your family.
Yeah, don't do it.
Watch it in private.
With the door closed and locked. But yeah, so there's going to be language. There's probably going to be some sexy talk in here.
Some adult themes.
Definitely a lot of adult themes. And that ranges
references
from,
to sexuality.
Yes, sexy sex time and daddies. Lots of daddies.
So many daddies. All the daddies with an I-E-S. Daddies.
Daddies.
Probably some dark elements. Some things that might be uncomfortable. Death.
Sex, violence, drug use.
Mm-hmm. Heavy themes.
We're gonna talk about it all. So if you're a little sensitive about those subjects, please just be aware that it's to your discretion, and don't come at us for watching in dub. Okay?
Mostly don't come at us for that because we are Baka Bitches and we are not reading subtitles.
We are not. Maybe on our own time, but this is podcast time, and we gotta go with the English. We gotta go with the English so we absorb it all.
Enjoy, guys.
Enjoy.
Hi everyone, welcome to Baka Bitches. We are two 30-something-year-olds who love to drink and talk about anime. My name is Stephanie.
And I'm Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Stephanie.
I mixed up our drink tonight. So tonight we are having mango peach lemonade that has been spiked with some gin.
So good.
It was cold and frothy at some point, and I feel like mine has gone room temperature.
I drank mine already, so
yeah,
I
I've got some
mine
problems
is
with this now.
Warm now.
Sexy.
Hot.
So I can't believe it, but we're already second to the last episode here.
Yes.
Episode 11.
The penultimate.
Yes. Titled, Just Tell Me You Don't Like It. Which could have been representative of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, tell Riri you don't like them being up in your business.
Right, which promptly would be ignored, but, you know, that's the name of the game.
I mean,
Riri.
I just feel like this title was very generic.
Mm-hmm.
It could mean a lot of things. But guys, this shit got dark. Like, it got real.
It turned like a 180.
This anime just flipped. Yeah.
It knocked us both off of the happy fun time pedestal that we were on.
Yeah, we were like reverse harem, slice of life,
Living
outrageously hilarious, to like, the fuck is happening?
Yeah, it starts normal, and then like 2 minutes in, it's like, hey, let's take you by the hand, and we're gonna go down that dark forbidden forest path that no one should go down.
It's been crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so I have our wiki synopsis here.
Yay.
We'll see. I have not pre-read this, so let's just go with it.
Yeah.
It starts, the woman, Yukina.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yukina, probably.
Approaches Anzu claiming to be Tsukasa's girlfriend. Anzu is suspicious, and when Tsukasa sees Yukina, is that right?
Yukina. Yukina? Like the name Yuki.
Anna?
Yukina. Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's weird because to me there should be an I in there. Okay, anyways. Yukina, he reacts in fear, so Anzu forces Yukina to leave. After recovering from a panic attack, Tsukasa confirms that Yukina is his stalker and the reason he lived alone, so that she couldn't find him. That seems a little bit worse in my opinion, but we'll just continue.
Okay.
He explains how Yukina began stalking him after a random encounter on the street, but Tsukasa's father accused him of making it all up. Yukina began posing as Tsukasa's girlfriend online, even once drugging him to plant cameras in the house and take intimate pictures. Tsukasa's father continued to blame him and began beating him, so his mother and sister helped Tsukasa rent an apartment and transfer schools. With Yukina's return, Arisa, is that the sister?
Yeah.
Moves into Anzu's house to help her brother.
Hey.
Yukina convinces thugs to attack Anzu, but she's saved by Junta, Ryuya, and Cheshia, and even Saki's brother.
Yeah.
Who all respond to texts Anzu never sent. Riri confirms sending the text, but rules prevent her doing anything about Yukina, so Anzu angrily drops her wand in dog poo again. I feel like that was more accidental.
It really was, but just perfect accidental.
Junta reveals to Tsukasa he only began playing baseball because Anzu once said she liked athletic guys, so he will do anything to protect her. Yes.
Yeah.
We love a good baseball protection.
We really do.
After work, Yukina confronts Anzu in a back alley and then attacks her with a knife. And that's where we leave off, guys. This is literally the same anime we've been talking about. It's just
this whole time.
Shit got so real.
Yeah, we did not just randomly switch to a psychological thriller.
It feels like it.
Yeah, it does. But like, same anime. Romantic killer, I guess. Emphasis on the killer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this really still... Wow. I'm still kind of reeling from this episode a bit. Wow. Yeah, okay, we should just start from the beginning.
Okay.
So,
we start with Hairy Cheeks.
Yeah, we start with Hairy Cheeks. It's just a normal day at the convenience store. Anzu and Hairy Cheeks are working together.
No, Hairy Cheeks has Anzu at the arcade. And he's offering to buy her everything in the arcade. From the little crane machine. Because she's like, oh, I really like... there's this super cute cat plushie in the arcade claw machine.
That cute.
And then he's like, I'll just buy everything in there.
Can my paycheck cover this?
Yeah.
And we're like, bro, no, you work at a 7-Eleven, basically, like...
Yeah, so they're having their fun little back and forth dynamic. And then Anzu is like, oh, I know what we should do. We should take photos in the photo booth. And so she and Hairy Cheeks go to do that. And then they drag along...
Tushia.
Sexy limo daddy.
Harima.
Sexy limo daddy comes... And they take some cute little photo booth photos. All normal.
Adorable.
They're just having fun. And then Anzu goes to leave and she's walking home. And then that's when the first encounter
happens.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You're right. And...
Wow. You never usually write thank you notes.
Saving the day. Yeah. So that's when she hears her name being called out. Like, oh, Anzu. Like... this girl knows her or something, and they stop and kind of talk, and Anzu's like, hey, I don't know who you are. And it's probably one of those things where you stop and you think like, I don't know who this person is. Did we meet before?
Yeah,
but I don't
or like
remember.
maybe we go to school and I haven't really noticed you. Yeah.
One of those scenarios. So Anzu's trying to play it kind of cool. And they're walking along, and this girl says, oh, it took me a while, but, I finally found him. Tsukasa's my boyfriend. And Anzu's like, what?
That's odd that he would have a girlfriend, first of all. And second of all, that you would be a girlfriend that wouldn't know where your boyfriend is.
Yeah.
This is triggering some alarms.
And the fact that Tsukasa never mentioned having a girlfriend, and the fact that he's been saying adamantly, like, I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't want anything to do with anyone, really. And so this sends a little alarm bells in Anzu's head. And, I mean, they are really close to Anzu's house, like, just feet away. And from the other side of the street, well, the same street, but Tsukasa turns the corner, grocery bag in hand, and he sees that this girl is with Anzu, and he just freezes, like, completely taken over by fear. And he drops the groceries, as one does, and is like, holy shit, what are you doing here? You know, and I think before that, this girl is saying, oh yeah, Tsukasa's my boyfriend, and I finally found him. And Hansi's like, what? And the girl takes out her phone and is like, yeah, I finally found him because of social media. And she scrolls, like, shows this picture from the firework festival thing that they all attended, and it's just the two girls having a picture of them, but Tsukasa was in the background, and it is just the back of his head. And this girl knew, like, that's Tsukasa. I finally found him. Like, creepy as fuck. And so Anzu's like, oh yeah, this is bad. This is really bad. So when they all see each other, Tsukasa drops the bag, freezes, and this girl is running towards him like, Tsukasa, I finally found you.
Amazing.
Oh, so great. And Anzu's like, no, this is not happening. This is not good. And luckily, before this girl can even reach to touch Tsukasa, Anzu steps in and blocks her from doing so. And is like, I'm sorry, but he's busy right now. We gotta go. You gotta go away. You know, and just prevents...
She was being a real homie.
Truly.
Like she picked up on how awkward it was and how uncomfortable and creepy it was, and she stood up for her friend. Yeah. She did good.
Yeah, she did really good. Yeah. She followed her gut instinct.
She's not our traditional, like, dumb girl. Yeah. Like, she got her aspects where she really likes to be in her little nerdiness, but I mean, she's got good judgment about her.
She really does.
Which we gotta give to her.
And she's not like the damsel in distress kind of thing.
Right. Yes.
You know, because clearly she's, as much as she's struggling with the Riri thing.
Right.
She's still very much standing up for herself.
She's brave. She's trying her best.
She is. And so I can appreciate her being a heroine in this scenario. So anyways, she basically takes Tsukasa into their household, which they're basically standing in front of. So the stalker officially knows, like, this is where they're living. This is cool.
And she kind of, like, lingered around for a while before she finally wandered back off. And we know that because Anzu was peering out the window from, you know, she had opened the curtain a little bit and was looking. And then when she saw the stalker walk off, that's when she, you know, checked with Tsukasa, like, okay, she's gone now. You know, are you okay? And he was kind of like,
no.
I'm existing. And then she's like, okay, let me go get you some water.
Yeah, we're gonna...
And then he grabs her hand and was like, no, don't leave me right now.
Yeah, and they both kind of sink to the floor together in the kitchen. So they're kind of surrounded by cabinets and stuff. So, like, they're kind of in a safe spot should anything happen.
Yeah, they're shielded. They're around some nice pointy kitchen knives and kitchen shears.
Yeah, they could easily protect themselves.
Good old chopsticks to the eye.
Yeah, that would be painful.
Yeah.
So Tsukasa does that and says, you know, like, I need to tell you everything.
Yeah, and Anzu is being really chill. She's like, no, it's okay. Like, it's not my business. You don't have to tell me, what's
Only
happening
if
in
you're
your life.
ready,
Right.
kind of
And
thing.
he's like, no, I insist. I need to talk about this. I need to tell you because, it's putting you in a bad spot now. And we're friends and, So he opens up to her about the entire backstory. I'm going to let you take this because I know you've got all the opinions about this. I will just interject.
So many opinions. Because when I know last week when we saw the very ending of that episode, which was the festival episode. Yeah. So this is the first episode that didn't just start right off where we left off. So that was kind of weird. But anyways, besides that, we saw at the end of that episode, like, of this girl scrolling through her computer and saying, oh my gosh, found him. And I immediately knew, like, oh, this is not good. This gives me a stalker vibe. And turns out I was correct. And to preface this, I listen to a lot of podcasts about this topic, about stalking.
So she could get better at it, you guys.
Yeah.
Just
obviously,
kidding.
I must hone my craft. Yeah. So, I have a kind of a weird, I guess, for lack of a better word, fascination with this
Fetish.
subject.
Continue.
You're going to give people the wrong idea here.
It's not wrong if it's correct.
Shh, they don't need to know that. No, but for real, on a serious note, I listen to a lot of this stuff because it's not really talked about a lot publicly. Like, we hear a lot of, to go dark and continue to get dark, gun violence. What do we do about, banning guns, more gun regulation, blah, 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 or, this kind of violence towards a specific race or a specific gender, or, which important topics to talk about. Not saying that. But stalking does seem to
fly under the radar.
Yeah. And it is deeply troubling because the people that are being stalked end up being a prisoner. And stalking, like, people doing the stalking are, like, you can't reason with them. And so many times stalkers very much know the boundaries. So when they first start out, you say, like, you hear this and see this weird behavior from this person and you bring it up to a cop, let's say, and, like, you say,
it all
this
sounds
guy,
normal and casual still.
Well, it's not only that. It's kind of like, well, were they intruding on your property? Were they, physically harming you? Well, no. Then I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, they just keep showing up at the same place at the same time. Okay, well, it's a public place. What do you want us to do?
Exactly. We can't
are they
for
bothering
being
you?
There.
No,
well,
they're
no,
just
but they're staring at me, and they've done this the past 5 weeks, and it's really concerning. This is turning into a pattern, and it's like the law can't do anything about it. Or, if they can, it's the bare minimum. And so you hear a lot of stories of these survivors or current victims because of, like, the podcast that I mainly listen to for some of this stuff is called Stalking, and that is a free shout out, I guess, if you're into that kind of subject as well. But you hear from survivors of all of the things that they went through, and so many times the law failed them. And it does turn into a lot of victim blaming of, like, well, what did you do to incur this kind of attention from someone? What did you... And it's like, no, I was just existing. I said hi to them in passing at the grocery store, and that's all it really takes for this kind of a thing to happen. So it's a very fascinating thing, and I feel like even more educated on the subject. It's a lot. and it deals with a lot of dark subject, and most of the time, because stalkers feel like they can get away with so much, which they can, a lot of the time, their actions tend to escalate. And I was really watching out in this episode, like, how are they going to deal with this subject?
Right.
How are they going to make it, are they going to make it sound more like Tsukasa is the victim, or are they going to, how are they going to really take this storyline? And honestly, I would say that the anime surprisingly does a very accurate job of what stalking is and what the victims go through in reality.
They did show it from a lot of sides.
Yeah.
Because we eventually later get the stalker's side.
Yeah.
Granted, just a piece of it, a small piece. And how her support system reacts to that, as well as, like, Tsukasa's nearby friends, his family, the reaction he got to it growing up. So, yeah, it was interesting to see all those components kind of come together in this, like, last 10 minutes of the episode.
Yeah, it
was a lot to unpack in a short amount of time.
And, you go through seeing what Tsukasa felt. Like, he felt terrible that this girl is back in his life, causing this havoc, and now involving Anzu. And he's like, I'm sorry, this is my fault. I shouldn't have. And what he did is, we haven't even gone through that part, but he tells his story, and he more or less says it started because this girl fell down in front of him one day as he's walking with his friends to school. All Tsukasa did was pick up her bag and hand it to her. And that's all that started this.
That's what triggered it.
That's what it was. And then that's all it takes sometimes. And he started seeing her every day since then at the same spot. And all she would do is say hello. And at first, in the beginning, it's like, oh, okay, hello. That's what you do. You properly greet someone, whatever. And
as time goes on, it's also interesting because his friends alongside him are like, wow, you're so lucky. That's nice to be so good looking that, like, all these girls are here for you. So he's kind of like, at that point, Tsukasa was like mildly uncomfortable. But he's being told, like, wow, look at you. You're so lucky. Like
high five, bro.
Yeah, you've got all this female attention,
especially an older woman.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a component to this whole thing too, that, like,
for sure
plays into his own, Tsukasa's own mind about, like, is it really as bad as I'm making it out to be? It probably isn't. It's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, you kind of brush it off.
Yeah, and we kind of see him trying to do that, even though she's getting creepier and creepier. Not just because of her facial expressions, which are heavily creepy, but
that shit is gonna float around my nightmares for a while.
Yeah, so we see that, just, oh, you're so lucky, and then, he comes home one day. There's a package or parcel on his bed, and he opens it, and he's like, oh, it's a shirt.
Awesome.
So he puts it on. He's like, must be from my mom, because who else would be buying me a shirt and leaving it on my bed?
Yeah, and I think it has his mom's name on it. So immediately he's thinking, oh, that's really nice. My mom got me a shirt.
Puts it on, goes out to the living room or dining room area,
where his mom and his older sister are,
and then his mom is like, oh, you got a new shirt.
Yeah. Did what's her face, his sister, like, did she give that to you? And Arisa, I remember her name.
Good job.
She's like, no, I didn't give him a shirt. And so everyone's just shook and like, well, what? Who gave that to me then? You know?
He's a little skeeved. He takes it off. We don't see him wear it again.
Fair.
He, leaves the house the next day just wearing his school uniform. And creepy stalker girl is like, she passes him by.
Yeah, this
and
time
she's
she
like,
walks.
Hey. Or like, hi. that shirt looked really nice on you.
Yeah, that looked
And then
really
that's when
good.
he was like, okay, hard, no.
Yeah,
we
like-
have crossed a boundary that we can't go back from.
The ick factor just sets in.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say, kind of like touching a little bit on what we talked about a minute ago, is that it's really rare for men to come forward when they're stalked, because yet again, it's that, kind of ridiculous
You're being
gender
victimized
thing.
by
You
a
man?
woman?
That's not possible.
Boy, it would be so nice if girls just wanted me so bad.
Yeah, like,
that stereotype that he got from his friends, like, oh, you're so
like,
lucky.
that is so accurate to the thought of a male being stalked versus a woman being stalked. And so you have that extra layer of the gender roles being reversed here. So now people are really not going to take him seriously. Like, what, you grown, good-looking boy being stalked, oh boo-hoo. Like, it's just a girl wanting attention. Like, not a big deal, and it's brushed off even more. And it's like, no, this is way more serious. And these packages, these parcels of things keep piling up, all having Tsukasa's name, like mom's name on it.
So many parcels.
So many. And they don't open it because now the mom, Orisa, and Tsukasa are all like, oh,
this is not right.
This is not right at all. And there's these website companies that my name keeps being signed up for, and it's his stalker. His stalker is using his mom's name to send him packages from these websites full of clothes or whatever she thinks would look good on him.
Right. And then it gets worse, fam.
It gets so much worse.
So he comes home. We're not really sure the amount of time later. The next day, a couple weeks later.
We don't know.
And he's home after school, seemingly home alone after school, just sitting at his desk. He's drinking his tea, his bottled tea, doing some homework, we assume.
Like a good boy.
And then he starts to look very sick, and then barely makes it to his bed before he just collapses.
Yeah.
So clearly he's been drugged.
He's been
then his bedroom door opens and a stalker chick is in his house, and then just like curls up on the bed with him and is like, oh, so we can finally be together right now. Like, I know that,
you're not even awake for this, but that's okay, my darling Tsukasa.
Oh,
like,
so creepy. So
and,
creepy and yuck.
And did we mention that this girl is not a high schooler? She's an adult. She is like a 20
whose full-time
something.
job is just terrorizing him now.
Yeah, just deciding like this young boy is my new lover and I'm gonna do this for him.
And then an arbitrary amount of time later, we're not really sure when, so clearly we're finding out during this time from the synopsis that I read that during that time, that was when she was setting up all the cameras to be extra creepy about him.
Yes, to get really compromising photos of him, really, because I mean, it's his bedroom. He's going to be changing in and out of clothes. He's going to be doing
whatever teenage boys do in their room alone.
Exactly. Homework, lots and lots of homework.
And so, but then we see the next scene, like in their living family sitting room area, just Tsukasa's dad just raging.
Yeah.
Just so upset with Tsukasa, like, clearly you've done this. Like, you've been leading her on. What have you been doing?
Fault.
How could you do this to our family? Like, this is an embarrassment.
It's just a woman, like, get a hold of yourself. You shouldn't have been, flirting with her, giving her any signs.
Yeah, giving her the wrong impression.
Yeah. And
this is on you, Tsukasa.
Whoa.
And so even though his sister and his mom were, like, standing up for him, like, Tsukasa's not like that. He wouldn't. This isn't his fault.
Yeah, this is a stalker chick. We have a problem here.
His dad is just being a true ass, which we knew about from several episodes ago when his sister had mentioned to Anzu, like, oh, yes, Tsukasa moved out because dad's a jerk.
Yeah.
But we didn't really get the context for what happened or what made him a jerk. And I think I had even said, I hope we get the reason
Yeah.
why. And now we're getting
We
the
do.
reason why, and it is a very justifiable reason.
We get it.
That we're seeing now.
Because somehow the fact that Tsukasa now has a stalker that's making his life a living hell, because that's what they do. His dad turns on him and starts physically beating his son because I don't know, his father is,
He brought dishonor to the family.
yeah, just
seemingly.
just this
But
hard ass,
not really
wanting to-
understanding what was
not
happening.
at all, not wanting to,
Not choosing to believe or even listen to Tsukasa's side.
or his daughter and his wife, who are also like, no, literally, I mean, look at the packages, like, we didn't order these,
Yeah.
but here they are. It's a stalker, like, ugh. But no, it's Tsukasa's fault that this woman came in, drugged him, and did God knows what to him, and then put cameras in his room.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's fucked up, and I also want to move away from my parent if they did that.
Yeah.
And so we more or less, like, that's kind of the end of the story, and Tsukasa sums it up to Anzu, like, that's why I've been living alone in this new place and going to a new school is because of this reason, and I'm so sorry you're involved, like, it's all my fault. And Anzu's just like, no.
So gracious.
So
And is
gracious.
like, be prepared, I'm going to give you a huge hug.
Yes,
And
it
then
was
just
the
like
sweetest.
jumps into his arms, and they both full embrace. Like,
Yeah.
he's not just sitting there like a limp fish. Like, he gives her a hug back.
Yeah, they're hugging
With
real tight.
tears in both their eyes.
Yeah,
They're like,
just
we
tears
wish
falling.
that we would have met sooner and been better friends sooner, because we
Like,
could have been a
this
better
is-
support system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really touching moment.
It was.
Like,
it was.
gives me, like, all the fuzzies. Like, despite such a dark topic, like, the fact that they're both, like, yeah.
Understanding, there for each other,
We need
listening,
each other.
supportive. I feel like, even though he's categorized as one of her romantic interests, that they are just such good friends.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't want that to be messed with, because I love their level of understanding of one another and their friendship level.
Same.
I think it's so ideal. Like, you don't
It
see
is.
that very often, and they have that, and that's
In such a short amount of time,
amazing.
too. Yeah, I love it. I don't want it to be tarnished with any, like, romantic feelings. Just leave it as is. But yeah, so they soon call in Arisa and alert her, like, hey, so she back.
And then Arisa's like, cool,
I'm coming to her.
I'm BRT.
Yeah.
But before she even gets there, Anzu is out at night, potentially walking back home from work. So we have a cut scene where she's coming back home from work,
That's
and she's just like walking home, and then suddenly gets attacked by like two thugs.
Yeah, who take her around to the
They
alley.
like forcibly take her around and then like aggressively like grab her and throw her against like a trash can, like one of
like
those big dumpster trash
Yeah,
cans.
it was not good.
To seemingly do some,
Not so good things.
Yeah.
Not so wholesome things.
and then that's when all the dudes show up. We got
Oh,
all
one at
of
a
our
time.
daddies
Yeah.
showing up. So
Just like one after another.
we got
It was great.
First, Junta coming in.
Yes, our boy.
Daddy Limo show up.
Ryuya shows up before that.
Oh yeah,
He's
I
second.
forgot about him because
Yeah.
he was there for only a minute for like the last.
For the karaoke
2 episodes
and
ago.
being in love
Yeah.
with Anzu. But yeah, he shows up as well soon after. Junta blocks one of the dudes from like trying to punch Anzu.
Yeah,
And he's like, no, we're not doing that. Then Ryuya shows up and stops the other dude who was going to go after Junta. And
yeah, they do some massive teamwork butt kicking.
Massive.
And Anzu's like, wow, what great timing that everybody showed up in this random alleyway to save me.
Like, how did y'all
Because
know?
the streets were otherwise empty. It was quiet when she was walking home. There was not I mean, it wasn't like your busy Tokyo street. It was
No, it was
like she was in the
secluded.
suburbs of the suburbs just walking home.
Yeah, it's like they shut down at 8:30 at night. Like no one's there anymore. And so and it was weird because she had supposedly lost, well, not lost, but she left her phone at work. And she was searching through her bag before.
Oh, that's right. She was looking for her phone. Because I was like, it's in the middle of the night and she's got her head in her purse. Like literally her head was inside of her purse. Looking for her phone. She couldn't find it. She's like, fuck it. I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, whatever. And that's when she was attacked. And all these people come out of the woodwork. Junta, Ryuya, Tashimi, adult Harima,
Daddy Limo,
and then Saki's older brother. And Saki kind of shows up too.
So they were out. Yeah. So after some butt was kicked, they're outside talking for a minute.
Yeah, like at a park thing.
Anzu's friend was like, it's probably not safe to be out here. Anzu, you should get home, get some rest.
Yeah.
So then that's kind of like when the house folks go back to the house and they kind of have their little powwow about
what's happening.
Yeah. And sister is there at that point.
They're all having tea.
Tsukasa's sister's there, and then that's when she's kind of like, okay, so synops, here's the deal.
This is what's going to happen. And
right.
So she decides to sleep over, and she's just straight up like, any day I'm not working, I'm gonna be here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be sleeping over.
Good sister vibes. We love it. Yeah. We love everything about these characters right now.
We do. We are here for all of the support that everyone has for each other.
They are all there for each other, and even Riri at the end.
Even Riri,
who Anzu goes to her room. Riri is surprised there in human male form.
Yes.
Is like, I sent all those text messages. And then Anzu is pissed because Riri's messing in her life, but then is also like, it saved me.
Yeah, so thanks for the one thing that was good that you did.
Yeah, but during some raging altercation, that's when Wand goes flying out the window, which at this point, after such a scary incident, why are you leaving your sliding glass door window things open?
Like, right open. I'm closing everything.
I would not. But anyways, that's not how it happened in the anime. Everything's wide open.
Yep.
And Wand just goes flying out the balcony window.
Yep.
Straight into some dog poo.
As it does.
As it does.
Wands, didn't you know, are just attracted to the nearest shit.
Just magnetic to dog shit. Fair.
Yeah. That's what happens.
So that was our recap. We are dying to watch the next episode.
No, we have another important part to the
baseball
episode.
part.
No.
Oh.
Well, that's not.
I was just gonna glaze over that.
Well, yeah.
What was the next?
It was the very end where Anzu is at work and she's in the back room.
Shit, I did forget that. Yeah.
Taking a break not taking a break. She's
getting ready to end her shift.
She's like done. And Harry Cheeks is there. Yeah. He's on break. They're talking. And he's like, oh, I'm glad that you're all safe and stuff.
You can borrow Daddy Limo anytime you need him.
Anytime. It's cool.
He's just chilling. He's just waiting.
He's just ready to fight. He's ready to drop some blood. And
Anzu's like, okay, cool, that's fine. But I'm good for today because Tsukasa and sister are going to walk me home.
So we're good. We're going to do it.
I'm going to head out now. Okay, bye.
Right, bye. Goes through the side door of the break room that just is to the side of the building. And I'm like, no, you stupid bitch. Why are you doing that? Because literally Stalker is out there, but I guess she's new to this. She doesn't listen to the podcasts I do. And so she goes through that door, she's walking, and then who appears but our Stalker? And she's like, oh, Anzu, I've been waiting for you. I have something for you. And she has this bag with her, and she just pulls out a big old kitchen knife.
Yeah, like a butcher knife. She's just like, here,
and she just, like, we cut away from
our
that
last
scene.
shot that we see is, like, the cement with some
like
drops of blood on it.
Yeah, like blood just splatters on it, and we just leave it at that. And that's where the episode leaves us.
So we are really hanging at the edge of our seat right now.
We are.
I tried to wrap this up too soon because I just I'm like, yeah. I need to see the next one, you guys. It was intense, but it was all the good vibes with our main cast. All the like support, the friendship. This is what friends are for. This is what they do. These are good relationships in the midst of terrible circumstances.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to end it, just because of my extensive stalking listening.
Tell us more, Hannah.
A few tips for people that ever run into people that are acting strange and you think you're being stalked.
Oh.
Document everything. Bring those documented things to the police so they also have record of you making calls in about this subject. So not only are you creating a file for yourself of everything that happened, the police are too. Always tell people that you trust, your friends, your family, so you have a support system. And, you know, like... So
Heard.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Baka, bye!